Your statement that is merely the product of thought, and therefore not creation, has troubled many artists, poets, musicians who are here and who think that they are creators. Cannot creation include the activity of thought? Your statement that is merely, no, there's something missing here. Your statement that all art, wait, this is wrong here. Your statement is merely the product that, no, this is all wrong. Yes, your statement that is merely, come on? Art.
Your statement that art is merely a product of thought.
Your statement
that art is
your statement that art is merely the product of thought, and therefore not creation, has troubled many artists, poets, musicians, including us who are here, and who think that they are creators. Cannot creation include the activity of thought? Right? Question clear. The speaker has said that thought, with all the nature of thought, can never be creative. So, and thought, which is the expression also of an artist, poet, musicians, and all of us included, thought is always limited. Right? So first, we must inquire into what is thought, why it is limited, whether it's expressed by the greatest poet in the world, or the greatest artist, or the artist who is just beginning. I hope the artist is always beginning, not achieving. I think it was Goya or Velasquez, I've forgotten who, one of those, said, I'm always learning. Goya? Bene. He was 92 when he said that. I'm still learning. So, we have to inquire into several things. First of all, what is creation? Creation, how the world has come into being, is part of creation. And we ought also inquire into thought and the art of living, which is the greatest art, the supreme art, and the art of painting, the art of music, the art of speech. And why do we give such extraordinary importance to artists? The other day, a picture was sold for $10 million. It's probably a very good investment. So we have to inquire into all this, not just condemn or say, why do you say that? So first let's inquire, what is the art of living? Why do you say that is the greatest art, greater than any other art in the world? From the marvelous carpenter who puts a cabinet together, and the great artists, Leonardo da Vinci and so on, great classical artists, and the great poets. And those of us who are not so-called artists, but we may have the sensitivity to look at the mountains, sensitivity to someone's suffering, sensitivity to nature, to look at a tree. There's a marvelous tree on the road, single, whole, one great trunk with many, many branches, full of foliage, fluttering in the wind. When you look at that beauty, or the beauty of a cloud with sunlight on it, so we have to also inquire then, what is beauty? Right? So this question implies a great many things, not just one thing. What is beauty? Apart from the physical form, clean-cut face, healthy, full of sparkling eyes and smile and sense of dignity. There is the beauty of a mountain, of a tree, or the running waters. When does one see such great beauty? You may go all the museums of the world, and the speaker has visited many, many, many museums. And everybody says, "Ah, what a marvelous picture that is. How beautifully proportionate, the colors, the shape, the grouping, and all the rest of it." So we use the word beauty in so many ways. Beauty salon, and so on. What is, if you really inquire into it, what is beauty? Does beauty lie in the eye, in the heart, or in the mind? Or there is beauty when the self, the ego, is not? You understand? The ego, with all its problems, with all its travail, with all its confusion, uncertainty, misery, happiness, that is the self. And when that self says how beautiful it is, it has very little meaning. There was perhaps you have heard of the Grand Canyon in Arizona. The most extraordinary canyon it is, miles of it, a river cutting through it. It's really the most extraordinary sight. And somebody has said in the book, in the hotel book, I've seen this glorious sight and I'm glad I'm going to have tea. So, is it possible to look at something, the tree, mountain, the valley, your wife or your husband, or something, without the self, without you coming between that and your perception? You understand? Is it possible to appreciate that sense of great beauty? And that beauty cannot possibly exist when the self is there. You may be a great artist, the modern sense of that word too, and be tremendously egocentric, tremendously ambitious, grabbing money, right? And paint the extraordinary picture. And we call that a great artist. So we have to ask, what is the art of living? Which is the greatest art on earth, because we have never, the great poets, the great sculptors, Michelangelo, all the rest of them, have they understood? I'm not belittling them or being disrespectful to them, or to you who are here as artists, poets and musicians. Can one discover first the art of living, and then everything you do is art? And what is the art of living? I believe the word art means giving the right proportions to life, placing all the things in life in their order. Not exaggerating any one thing. And to find out the art of living requires tremendous, not only intellectual capacity, but also great sensitivity. The art of living can only come when there is total freedom. Freedom from all our petty little worries, all our intentions all our problems, fears, and when there is this extraordinary sense of wholeness. That is when you are nothing. Nothingness is wholeness. I wonder if you understand all this. Because we're always wanting to be something. If you're a clerk, you want to become the manager. If you're a scientist, you want to explore more and more and more, and fame, publicity, all the rest of it. Research. Research into biology, not research into your own mind, your own being. That doesn't count in the world. That's no importance. But we, as scientists exploring into the atom, given tremendous importance. Right? So can we find out for ourselves the art of living? To go into that, we must find out the nature of thought. Thought is born of knowledge, right? As memory. Thought is memory, knowledge, experience. If there is no experience, no knowledge, no memory, there is no thinking. You may have a feeling, but it's no active thinking. And our thinking in any direction, horizontal or vertical, linear or whole, is still limited, because knowledge is always limited, whether now or in the future. Is that clear? That is so. It's not what the speaker is saying, asserting. It is a fact. Because all our experience are limited. When it is limited, there is a demand for the more. More knowledge. And we see that knowledge, though some of the biologists and scientists say through knowledge, man ascends. You must have heard it. Man ascends through knowledge. Probably physically. You understand? You are building greater houses, better heating, better roads, better communication, better ways of killing man, and so on, so on, so on. So thought, being limited, has created this world, this society in which we live. Obviously. Thought has created all the rituals in all the religious organizations. Thought has created the gods out of fear, out of the desire for comfort, security. Thought is a material process. Because, you understand, it's contained in the brain. The brain, the speaker is not an expert on brain, but he's watched how one's own brain works. its reactions, its rhythm, and so on. I won't go into all that. So thought, whatever it does, is limited. And being limited, it can invent. Invent new ways of building a cycle. Better ways, invent new combustion, internal combustion machinery and so on. The jet and so on. It can invent everything. But invention is not creation. Right? One may write a beautiful poem and feel that's my creation. But it's still within the area of thought. Right? Bound to be. If one writes a poem, however magnificent, however beautiful, however depth and the rhythm of the words and all that, it is still, the feeling may be different, but the expression of it is still within the field of thought. And so whatever thought does is limited. And inventions are limited. One invents something and somebody comes along and invents that's the same thing much better. And so on, so on, so on. So what is creation? This has been a question that has been asked by the ancient Hindus, the later Greeks, and we say God has created all this. That's a very convenient way out of things. But with one asks for oneself, putting all these assertions aside, what is creation? Can it be born out of knowledge? And therefore creation is limited? Or creation is something beyond all knowledge, which has nothing whatsoever to do with knowledge? You understand? If we go into this very seriously, to find out, not I find out, you tell you, but find out for oneself. As it has nothing whatsoever to do with thought, with memory, with knowledge, with experience. So we'll put all that, use one word to convey all that, knowledge. As we said, knowledge is always limited, now or in the future. And creation must be something limitless. Not, I create a poem. That's a very misuse of that word, if one may point out. We are not belittling the artist or the painter or the etc. But when we are inquiring very, very deeply into this question, to find out that which is not created by thought. The immensity of the universe. One can look at the universe through a telescope, see the various gases and so on. But the enormity of creation, the thing that is not measurable by words. We measure everything by words. To be free of knowledge, you understand? And yet have knowledge in its place. To find that out. Whether the brain can ever be free from knowledge and the word, but yet keep knowledge at its place, you understand? Driving, talking, writing a letter, various forms of skills and disciplines. Their knowledge is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, you and I, the speaker, wouldn't be sitting here. But this sense of immensity, this sense of that creation which is not measurable by thought. And therefore, creation is so creation is something that has no relationship with knowledge.